Have you ever felt your faith flicker like a candle in the wind? What if one tiny daily habit could make it blaze brighter than ever? Deep in the heart of a vast emerald jungle, there lived a young man named Aaron. The jungle hummed with life, cicadas vibrating in chorus, monkeys chattering in the treetops, and colorful birds streaking through shafts of sunlight like living ribbons. To the world outside, Aaron might have seemed ordinary, just another figure in the dense forest, but inside he carried a spark, a quiet whisper that said, "There is more. I can grow. I can thrive." His home was a small wooden cabin, moss-covered and tucked between ancient trees, perched beside a river that gleamed like a silver snake in the morning light. Every day was a challenge, collecting firewood, climbing steep trails to gather fruit, fishing from the riverbank, and navigating the jungle paths that twisted like veins. Life here was raw, unpredictable, and sometimes harsh, and faith, steady, unwavering faith, felt like trying to catch sunlight in his hands. Aaron's doubts often crowded him at night. Maybe I'm not strong enough. Maybe faith is for others, not me. Maybe I'll never be enough. But one morning, something small changed everything. While washing his hands in the river, he noticed a tiny wooden idol perched on a rock. Its surface was worn smooth, edges chipped by years of rain and sun, but it radiated quiet presence. He picked it up, brushing away moss, and whispered, "Maybe I can start small." And that's when he did. Aaron began with one simple act. Each morning, he would stand barefoot on the damp jungle floor, inhale the scent of wet leaves, and offer a single thought of gratitude. "Thank you for another day. Thank you for this river, this forest, this life." The first mornings felt awkward, silly even. He didn't see immediate change, but he kept doing it, letting it seep into his chest like water soaking dry earth. The next act was just as small. Every evening, after tending his fire, he would light a candle inside his cabin and reflect. Where did I see hope today? Where did I see grace? He scribbled his thoughts in a small, tattered notebook, sometimes messy, sometimes barely legible, but it became a mirror for his heart. At first he wrote about the tiniest things, a frog jumping perfectly into the river, a bird's song piercing the morning fog, the way sunlight struck a leaf just right. Weeks passed, months passed, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, Aaron noticed something remarkable. His heart, once restless, grew steadier. His mood softened. When a storm shook the trees or a snake slid across his path, he felt not panic, but quiet confidence. 1 minute of gratitude, one small reflection each day was shaping something deep and powerful within him. One afternoon, as he walked along the riverbank, he saw a young monkey slip and tumble into the water. Without thinking, Aaron reached in and scooped it out, holding it safely against his chest. The tiny creature chattered at him in what seemed like gratitude, and in that moment, he realized something important. Faith wasn't just a private feeling. It was alive, radiating outward in his actions, small as they seemed. Every habit, every thoughtful act was a ripple in the river of life. The jungle itself became his classroom. He met 3 unlikely teachers along the way. The first was an old tortoise, moving with painstaking slowness across a mossy clearing. "Why move so slowly?" he asked, curious. The tortoise looked at him knowingly. "Because rushing loses the journey. Small, steady steps, done every day, take you farther than a single leap." The second was a nightingale, perched on a branch, singing in the quiet of the evening. "Why sing if no one listens?" Aaron asked. The nightingale tilted its head and trilled, "I sing because my voice matters to me first. Practice, patience, and persistence shape me. When the world is ready, it will hear. The third was a tiny firefly hovering beside a patch of ferns. Its lantern glowed softly in the dark. "Why shine when it's so dark?" Aaron asked. The firefly blinked steadily. "Because darkness is exactly why I glow, and the world needs light, even if it's small." Aaron reflected on these lessons. Gratitude, reflection, patience, persistence. Light in the dark, he realized that faith grew not in grand gestures, but in these tiny, repeated acts.
Exactly 1 year after finding the old idol, he felt a pull to explore deeper into the jungle than ever before. Roots tangled underfoot, leaves glistened with morning dew, and the humid air clung to his skin. His legs ached, his lungs burned, but he carried a quiet determination, built from a year of small, steady choices. As he reached a clearing atop a high ridge, the jungle opened before him like a living tapestry. Rivers snaked through the trees, sunlight spilled in golden streams, and the air felt alive with possibility. He closed his eyes, breathed deeply, and felt the pulse of the forest around him. Every step, every act of gratitude, every moment of reflection had led to this. Then he noticed something remarkable. Tiny signs of life moving toward him. Birds swooping closer, small animals cautiously approaching, even a few curious villagers drawn by whispers of his presence. Each one paused, quiet and attentive, sensing the calm and strength radiating from someone who had grown patiently over time. It struck him then. Transformation doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. It's the steady, persistent choices, how you treat yourself, how you nurture hope, how you act with care, that create unseen ripples. And sometimes, without fanfare, those ripples reach farther than you could imagine. He smiled to himself, realizing that faith, like the jungle, grows quietly. With patience, consistency, and courage in small acts, it can stretch beyond the individual, touching lives in ways invisible at first, and yet powerful enough to change the world around him.
Faith grows not in grand gestures, but in small, daily acts. Consistency, gratitude, and reflection plant seeds that bloom quietly. Show up every day and watch your faith flourish. Subscribe to Life Lessons Library for more stories that inspire your heart and soul every single day.